What's up, people? In this video, we're going to do another one by Bulldog Mindset. Think of yourself as dead, practical stoicism. Not a pleasant topic for anybody really to think about, our inevitable demise. However, the reason I want to do this video is because I actually thought the same thing the other day, strangely. I was like, I just had this idea in my head. I was like, you're already dead, you know? And the reason I came, or the way that I came to this conclusion is that I was like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, the total time that the universe will be alive, I will be not alive for more time than I will be alive. Like, the amount of time that I will be alive is, you can't even measure how small it is compared to the size of the length of time that I will be alive. So for all intents and purposes, I'm already gone. I'm already dead. You know, fucked up to think about that. But then you think, like, why am I even here? You know, how did I even get here? Really, like, how do I have consciousness? And how was I born into this magical world where I can talk to other people across the world long after I'm dead from my fucking computer? Anyway, it's mind fuck.
In this video, we're going to be discussing some Stoic philosophy. We're going to be talking about the concept of...
Yeah, anyway, we're going to talk about this. Stoicism in general, I found it to be very depressing. I used to listen to Seneca's books, audiobooks, and I found that every time I would listen to them, I would get, like, super depressed. So, you know, whatever.
Of thinking of yourself as dead. Why this is actually really important for enhancing and improving your life. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On the channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, how to go from the victim mindset to what I call Bulldog Mindset. If that sounds like something that you are interested in, click that subscribe button and join us on our quest here. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. If you just hear this, you might not think there's much to it. But imagine if you were dead, but you got brought back to life and given a second chance. How would you live? Live that way now. That's essentially what this quote is telling you, right? He's saying, imagine, you know, again, imagine like you were dead, okay? You already lost your life. It's already forfeit, all right? You've already lived your life. All right, whatever regrets you have on your deathbed, it's there, okay? And then all of a sudden, you got a second chance. Someone said, hey, you know what? You're not done yet. Come back, all right? And now live your life. How would you live your life, right? How would you live your life in that situation? Essentially, imagine that to be true and then live your life now. It's just a matter of time, right? You're going to die, and it's going to happen fairly quickly, right? In the grand scheme of the universe and things, all right? So you might as well consider yourself already dead, right? That's why he says, you know, you're dead already, all right? And, you know, consider that you're already dead. Now pick up your life and live the rest of it. How would you live that life, right? Because you should consider...
Interesting. I didn't make that. I didn't take that additional step of so it's a little bit different. I mean, it's the same and it's different, right? You're already dead, so therefore now you have a second chance. Live the life the way that you want to live it. Like, I'm thinking now, right? I'm on my deathbed. Let's say, God forbid, maybe they'll find a cure for death somehow. It's by the time, let's say I live another 70 years. You know, things are changing pretty fast. I don't know. Whatever. Could I extend? Honestly, even if you extend your life, you live to be 200 or 500 or 1,000,000, whatever. The day is going to come eventually where it's going to be over. You know, it's fucked up to think about, really. But, like, you know, the time we have is a gift. Honestly, like, how are we even here? Really, how am I here? Straight up. Anyway, the point is that you're here for a limited amount of time. Go out and fucking, like, you just imagine you're on your deathbed and you wake up and they're like, actually, just kidding. You get to restart life. How crazy would that be? What would you do? You know, I could tell you for damn sure I wouldn't be in fucking a train. Fuck, man. Think about that now. What am I doing here? Like, I want to buy my ticket out of here stat. You know, I don't know. Or would I think the opposite? That's my problem, is like, I argue against myself too quickly, which is maybe why my videos are endearing to some, because I don't really take a hard line and I'm able to convey concepts that might be offensive, because a minute or a second after I convey them, I'm like, well, actually, maybe it's not like that. You're like, okay. He's not an asshole. But, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because I lack conviction, really. What are the benefits of staying here for me? Okay, well, I get to produce a lot more videos. Would I be able to do that somewhere else? Maybe not. Maybe I would, you know? But then again, is it even worth it, really, to do this here, now? Maybe not. Who will even watch all these, really? Like, that's what I think. Like, a week or two ago, I was thinking a lot of these same thoughts, and I was like, all right, this is my part of my legacy, right? Or it's like at least on my way to building my legacy, right? These videos will stay around forever, and I'm imagining that, like, in the future, people will watch them and be like, wow, he was So relatable, I guess. I don't know. But then I think like, okay, they're gonna watch my videos. They're gonna watch Casey Neistat's videos. They're gonna watch Bulldog Mindset's videos. Why would they watch mine? Really? Why? To hear me ask questions about and like admit how I don't know shit? Really? Like, what is this offering people? I don't really know, honestly. So it's like too many questions. You know, how could you really know anything? I don't know. I'm off on a fucking tangent.
Consider that your life is too short to waste any of it, right? This is another thing to think about, is the idea that it's inevitable, all right? And it's coming. You're going to die, all right? And it's going to happen, right? Even though we can't foresee it in our future, but it's going to happen, and it's not going to be a long, long time from now, right? Relatively speaking. So life is too short. So whatever you're going to do in your life, however you're going to live your life, you need to do it now, right? To waste any moment of time that you have when it's so finite and so small is unfortunate. You're not probably going to get that second chance. You're not going to, when you're dead, you're not going to get brought back and then give a chance to live your life, you know, how you should have lived it. Instead, take this moment, pretend like it's already happened, and you've already been brought back and given your chance, and live it now. That's the concept here. Again, really powerful concept. And, you know, if you were dead, then anything you have is a bonus. This is another way to interpret this. If you already lost everything, if you're dead, or in this case, you know, consider yourself dead, like he said, and then you have anything, right? Everything it's all gravy, right? It's all a gift, right? Imagine if you'd already gotten your shot, you already gotten your allotted years, you've already burned through them. Okay, you spend a lot of time watching Netflix and wasting fucking time and procrastinating and doing all kinds of bullshit and not doing what you should have done in life and getting fat and all this stuff. And then you're given some more time. You're given an extension. All right, you got what was due to you, and then you got a bonus. That's gravy. And so, if you consider
Another good concept. A lot of the times, you know, I don't know what it is. I've just been thinking about fucking the shortness of life a lot lately. And like, I'm not old. You know, this guy, all right, he's got a couple gray hairs. Maybe he's like, what is he, like 40? Like, he's also not old. But I think that once you get to a certain age, you realize that like, you're not going to live forever, you know? And I was at the gym the other day, and I was like looking at myself in the mirror. At this gym that I go to, you can work out with your shirt off. And I was looking at myself, and like my muscles are looking good, and they're looking healthy, and my skin looks good, and like I was just like looking at my body, and I was like, why would it stop being like this? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. How the body would just stop working. It just stops. Like, why? You know? I don't understand why it does half the shit it does anyway. I understand, like, I'm like thinking like, okay, liver, you're gonna like detoxify now. Like, okay, heart, you're gonna beat. No, it's automatic. So I guess, you know, the negative side is also automatic. There's that. And then also, sometimes I'll be walking down the street, and in my current city, I'm frequently irritated with everything just because I'm, you know, no secret that, like, I don't know, Vietnam's not my favorite country, Nha Trang's not my favorite city. Why am I here then? Because, like, it's cheap, there's a beach, the gym is amazing, and that's it, really. Like, that covers, like, most of my day. Like, wake up, I have a place to record videos, it's cheap, I can live here fucking $2-3 a day, or for my rent, amazing gym that I can go to and work out, and then in my spare time I go to the beach. What sucks about this place? The people are, I'm sorry, Nha Trangians out there, awful. Some of the worst people I've ever met in the world, like, in terms of, like, bad attitude and closed-mindedness, just terrible in every way. Anyway, the point is that I walk around, and let's say I have a less than positive experience with anything, something. It doesn't have to be somebody here. I'm just like, wow, you know, someday I'm going to be so happy. Someday I would kill to be back here. Actually kill. Like, when my life is coming to an end, someday I would kill to be back in the train and feel the sun on my skin and be able to look at the beautiful blue ocean. I would kill for one more day someday. And I'm just like hit with this wave of gratitude, like, fuck, but thank God I'm alive right now. Thank God I'm here. It's just so good. It's so amazing, really. And I think that's where this whole concept of gratitude comes in. You know, you hear about this shit a lot in Silicon Valley. Nobody ever says it's gratitude in the fucking face of your impending death. Nobody says that. They're just like, oh, be grateful. Grateful for, like, if you think you're going to live forever, gratitude doesn't really mean so much. It's like, what am I grateful for? I'm not happy. But that's like, oh, but I'm going to live forever. So, and I'm not happy now. This is somehow incomplete. But I think that when, like, really, like, nobody talks about it because nobody wants to talk about it. It's fucking, look, you can even see on him. It's uncomfortable for him to talk about. He's like getting anxious thinking about it. I'm getting anxious talking about it. Just spit everywhere. But that's where gratitude comes from. That's where being grateful comes from. I saw a poster on the wall the other day, and it was like, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter how bad you think it is, just be grateful you're alive. And I was like, and I saw that with these new thoughts that I'm having in my head regularly, and I'm like, fuck, man, that's so right. Whereas before, if I was a teenager or something, just bitter and angry at the world and so focused on the short term, I'd be like, gratitude, bullshit. But it's true. Honestly, this is making me want to buy a fucking plane ticket, like, immediately. What am I doing here? yeah, fine, making content, blah blah blah. Like 100 people who watch this be like, "You're doing a good job, man." Yeah, okay. It's not the worst thing I could do with my time. Beach is nice. Gym is nice. I'm not like in prison somewhere. God forbid. I have my freedom. I have my health. I have a couple years remaining of my youth before I get old and wrinkly, right? Or maybe more. I gotta maximize the amount of time that I have. You know. I had another thought. I already forgot it.
Yourself dead from the very get-go, and you consider your whole life as a bonus. That's how you should live it, right? That's how you should live it, like it's a gift. Because every day is a gift. Every day that you're alive, you should think, well, shit, I already had my chance, and I'm getting another chance, then that's a gift, right? That will change the way in which you look at your life and the way that you live, okay? Every moment is a moment that is gravy, right? You won't complain about, like all the shit that we complain about, it will not matter when you're dead. When you are lying in a box under the ground, under the earth, it won't matter what someone said to you. It won't matter how much you're getting paid. It won't matter how many people liked your shit on Instagram. It won't matter, how fucking tired you are, or all of these things, or how lonely you are. None of that shit will matter. None of it will matter when you're dead. Unfortunately, we live like we're immortal. All right? We basically live our lives as if we're going to live forever. But it's not true. And so if we contemplate our deaths, if we take some time to think about it, like to actually let the reality set in, right? To actually think about this long enough to say, yeah, no, it's inevitable. Someday I will absolutely die. It is coming. And realistically, how soon is it coming? I mean, realistically, like for me, it's in the next probably 40 to 50 years. Okay? Like I'm pretty close to halfway through at the best case. Okay? That's it. Then that's it. It might sound morbid to think about this, but if you
Straight up, like, fuck, man, how crazy is that? Like, I'm approaching the halfway mark. Let's say average lifespan 80 years, right? I'm a couple years off, but here's the thing, is like, we're given so much time, really, when you think about, okay, fine, compared to like the life of the universe, it's not a long time. But like when you think about how long a day is, how much time you have in a day, and how your life is made up of so many days, like a year. Do you know how long a fucking year is? It's a long ass time. Shit, dude, if you're like waiting for something to happen, a week is like an eternity. Really, actually an eternity. So why would you, why does it, how can you say it's short, really? Again, to be fair, does that mean you should diddle away your time jerking off and watching Netflix? No, arguably not. And he's talking about it openly, which is rare. It's very rare. Like, occasionally you'll see other people mention it, off to the side. But rare that you have somebody dedicate 6.5 minutes. It's a long time to be fucking talking about being immersed in this concept. It's a long time. But you can tell, or at least I can tell now that these thoughts have unfortunately become more common to me. You can see it on other people when they're also thinking about it regularly. Jordan Peterson, fucking Wes Watson. Just other people who are extremely productive and who do a lot. Even Donald Trump. I never really thought about it. Donald Trump, like, homie probably thinks, like, fuck, I'll be dead in 10 years, He wants to do as much as he can in the time that he has left. And when you think that way, you're going, like, I made a video about it the other day, The Maximum Good, Doesn't watch that. Didn't get a lot of views, but fucking that's it right there. It's like, you have a limited amount of time. You want to use every fucking minute of your time that you have left to do the maximum amount of good. I guess it's a little bit different to think of it like you're already on your deathbed and you get another chance. That's another good way of looking at it, right? If let's say fast forward, I know what I was going to say. When I was living in New York, I was very fit, and I was doing a lot of workouts, and I would run to the gym. I'd run to Blink Fitness, whatever cheap gym out there. I'd run to the gym, I'd work out, and I'd run back, like how I used to do in Thailand. So I still want to do cardio, but didn't want to do it at the gym, and didn't want to like run around the fucking streets of New York and get lost. So anyway, I ran to the gym, worked out, ran back one day, and I was still like, I didn't know the neighborhood so well, so I'm like running, and I like checked the street the wrong way, and I like just by happenstance like look to my right, and I see a fucking like a U-Haul truck coming towards me, and I stop, and the truck passes me like this. Doesn't honk, doesn't slow down, nothing. If I hadn't looked to the right and stopped, I don't know if I'd be dead, but I would have been hit by that truck, and I don't, who knows, like maybe I would have died, maybe I would have been paralyzed, maybe I would have fucking been in a coma, my shit would have been changed for the foreseeable future. And I think sometimes I'm like, what if, because you watch movies like this sometimes and you're like, all right, the guy, like something bad happens to him, some magical fairy comes to him, and it's like, he like, it's like the Christmas, what's it called, the Christmas Story, where the guy's like somehow gonna die and the like angels of Christmas come to him or something, and he decides to change as a result of them showing him how he's an asshole or something like that. And I imagine sometimes I'm like, wow, what if I actually, like, in an alternate reality, I was like, I was on my deathbed, I was in a coma, and some angel came to me, and I was like, please give me another chance, please, like, I'll live my life the way I should, please, I promise, I will, I'll do it, just give me another chance, you know, and they came back and for some reason turned my head in that direction and made me look at that truck that was coming and stopped me, or allowed me to make the decision to stop, so that now I'm able to, in whatever complex way that I can understand it, I'm able to do the maximum good in my life. Who knows how my life will turn out? It's also entirely possible that we're just a fucking ant in an ant colony. Do the ants know what they're doing and why they work and why they pick one rock up and move it to some other side of the ant colony and they're like 3 days that they live or whatever? They don't know. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just in their ant colony. They were born into the ant colony and they do whatever it is the other ants are doing, and then that's it, you know? Humans were like cursed with this fucking logical understanding of the world and our mortality. Do dogs know they're going to die? Probably not. Are they that intelligent? Maybe. Maybe the dogs know. I don't know. I think if they did, they wouldn't fucking lie around and sleep all day. But we're cursed with this, like, half of our lives we spend thinking we're immortal, and half of our lives we realize we're not. Maybe that's why civilization has progressed to what it is. That's why we've evolved, right? I gotta stop talking about it. It's fucking freaking me out.
You're not, like, you're just gonna put it as some far off thing, right? But it's not some far off thing. It's a reality that you're going to face, that is going to happen. And so if you put it as a far off thing and you don't believe that's really gonna happen to you, that death happens to other people but not to you, you are not going to live your life to its fullest. You just can't. You know, part of Stoic philosophy is preparing to die. It's learning how to live, it's learning how to die. Part of learning how to live is learning how to die. Okay? When you learn, when you realize, when you conceptualize that you will die, it will light a fire under your ass. The reason why the fire isn't lit right now is because you have not meditated on death. You have not thought about it long enough. You have not thought about what it might be like to cease to exist and the fact that that day may be coming for you. Okay? You will die when you cease to exist. No one knows for sure. Okay? But you will die. At least in this physical form, in this body, you will die. And you should consider that the end. If there's more, it's a bonus. I'm not trying to be, and I do think that there's more, but it doesn't matter. You shouldn't live your life based on that premise. Instead, you should assume that...
Yeah, good point. Straight up, like, honestly, like I mentioned, who did I mention? Jordan Peterson, Wes Watson, like, whatever. I just kind of pulled those guys out of thin air, but you can really take any person who's fucking working their ass off, right? You look at people who work their ass off. To be fair, do I work my ass off? I honestly could do more. I'm sure all these guys think they could do more too. But I look at somebody who works their ass off, and I'm like, that guy thinks about fucking dying all the time. That's what I know in my mind, right? And I don't know, I can just see it on their face. I don't know what it is. Now, again, is there something after this? Probably not. I don't think so. Fucking, I hate saying that. Maybe we'll come back as animals and we don't realize it. Maybe, it's possible. But then what? Is there like this like second world that's always expanding as the result of new souls being born, new lives being born? Or is this just a story that has evolved over the course of humanity to allow people to progress and to live without, you know, why have we evolved this fear of death, you know? This fear is what has pushed civilization forward, really. So, you know, is it that, so basically what I'm saying is, like, is it possible we move on to another world? And it's just this fear that is pushing us to make progress in this world? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think with, like, this is why anytime I see some shit on, you know, I watch a video of these people doing an MRI, right? And it's like, shit, man, these people have figured out everything in the human body. Maybe not everything. They know a lot, really. You know, you're looking at somebody, like, you tell how much body fat they have, you tell their liver's working, you know what the liver does. They figured that out. It's like, when you think about how insane that is, you can make a fucking phone that will, like, store all of the information or allow you to connect to a storage system of all the information of the human history, of the, like, world that humans have been around. Anything, any piece of information, human history is here, is in this. You know? How crazy is that, right? Like, what are the odds there's some fucking magical world out there that there's no proof of, right? We've got proof of everything else, but no proof of this fucking magical world. Ridiculous. Maybe that's the next step, is having faith that there is another world, you know? Maybe that's the next step in this fear, right? Because it's like, honestly, it's hard to function, straight up. I think about my own death at least once an hour, more, 50 times a day. I fucking think about it. I'm like, fuck, it's so painful. I hate it. I wish I didn't think about it anymore. And honestly, I didn't think about it until I got that fucking UTI in Bangkok a month or two ago. Never thought about it. Maybe here and there. But like, I got that UTI in Bangkok. I was like, fuck, I could die right now. And it made me realize, I was like, shit, I could die right now, but I'm going to die someday anyway. So like, oh my God, like, It could be now in Bangkok. And that could be it. That could be my life. That's it. Done. Gone. Be forgotten immediately. You know? And then you're like, well, fuck. No matter what I do, I'm going to be forgotten anyway. Fucking George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Like, how can you think about those guys? Who gives a fuck, really? You know, Socrates, Marcus Aurelius. Like, honestly, the only way to really be remembered is to fucking talk about death. Because it's the only thing that people will fucking think about. Eventually, everybody will think about. And they'll gravitate, they'll look for some sort of wisdom about that. And really, what can you offer people? Religion, one thing. Philosophy is another thing. And fucking motivation. You know, live your life as if you're already dead. Oh, I hate thinking about it.
That if that were the end, would you waste any of this time? Click up here. There's a quiz. If you haven't taken the quiz already, take that quiz. It'll give you your Bulldog score. From there, I'll tell you what that score means, interpretation, how to increase that score, and you'll get an invitation to join our exclusive membership group where we have really in-depth content, live Q&As, all kinds of stuff. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.
You can already tell he's fucking stressed out just making that video. I'm stressed out making this video. I hate it. I don't want to talk about it. I hate talking about it. There's another guy, Dan Pena, right? He's a billionaire. He's worth like 50 billion. Very on point. Talks about death all the time, right? That's his sales pitch. He goes to business owners. As far as I understood, I saw one video about it. He goes to business owners who have a business that's making like, I don't know, 5 million a year or whatever. Their heirs most of the time don't want to take over the business. And he offers to buy it from them and allow them to exit from it at a profit. And then he goes to the bank, asks the bank for a loan to buy the business, and then I don't know whether he guts the business or like runs it in profit. I don't know what he does really. That's I know what I know so far. Super intense dude, super successful dude. You can't tell me that guy does not fucking see the end coming. And like, what are you gonna do? You know? I think sometimes I'm like, okay, you can try and extend it, you can try and cheat it. Growth hormone injections, fucking testosterone replacement therapy, but like how many years is that really going to buy you? Another 50? Maybe buy another 50, you live to 150. Okay, I guess dying at 150 as 35 years old, that feels better than dying at 80. When I think about that, that's an additional like double life. But nobody's lived to 150. What's the oldest people live to? 120? There's like 3 people who have done that. What are the odds that's going to be me? You know? Really. But that said, like, we also didn't have a fucking phone that we could, like, you know, also unprecedented. So, and also how many 100-year-olds or 80-year-olds even do you know that go to the gym and take care of their body, that do HRT? You know, it's impressive times we live in, unprecedented times we live in. So it's exciting on the one hand, but, you know, ultimately very frightening. Because, like, look, we're so focused on the short term. We're so focused on like what's going to happen now. I want to feel good now. I want to open an app on my phone and fucking get a hit of dopamine now. I want to go on 4chan now. I want to go on Instagram now. I want to feel good now. You know? But like, you forget really that you're here for a limited time. You think of your youth. You think of the time that you've had, and you're like, all right, cool. That was fun. What's next? You know, you don't until you get really sick. I don't know. I've never been really sick before until I got those UTIs. I was like, shit, I'm a fucking bag of organs. I took fucking ciprofloxacin. Fucking, that shit can kill you too. I wonder sometimes, I'm like, am I having all these morbid thoughts because of that fucking antibiotic that I took for like 5 days? Maybe. It's fucked up to think about too. I don't know. I don't like thinking about it. Am I going to die in like a year because of that? How fucked up, you know? I don't know. Whatever. Yet here I am. I'm buying my fucking ticket later. Like, fuck this shit. Anyway, who told me to do this? Nobody. This is my fault for doing this video. You guys have any other suggestions for videos YouTubers you want me to take a look at? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.